After a week of airstrikes, is Trump's fantasy of quickly remaking Iran's regime now colliding with a brutal intelligence assessment that says the system is built to outlast him? After dropping hundreds of bombs on Iran in just days, is Washington discovering that even massive firepower may barely dent the core of Tehran's power structure? And does a classified report from Trump's own spy chiefs quietly expose how limited his leverage really is when it comes to actually toppling Iran's rulers? A secret U.S. intelligence report now says that even an all-out assault is unlikely to topple Iran's regime, raising the question, what exactly is this war meant to achieve? Spy chiefs have warned that Iran's clerics and generals are structurally built to survive decapitation strikes, with institutions ready to snap back into place after any single death. Did Trump push ahead into a deadly war with Iran, while brushing aside every warning sign that bombing alone would not deliver the regime change he keeps promising? As the U.S. quietly debates the idea of ground troops in Iran, a new intelligence report is delivering a stark reality check to Trump's biggest ambitions. The classified National Intelligence Council assessment concludes that bombing alone will not oust Iran's system, no matter how intense the campaign. Analysts judged that even a large-scale U.S. assault is unlikely to remove the core leadership from power in Tehran. The NIC report says Iran's clerical and military elites are structurally built to absorb decapitation strikes and regenerate leadership from within. It found that even after Khamenei's killing, Iran's institutions would move to preserve continuity of power rather than collapse. That assessment directly undercuts Trump's public plan to clean out Iran's leaders and help install a new figure of his choosing. Trump has openly said he must be involved in choosing Iran's next leader, like with Delcy in Venezuela, casting himself as kingmaker from Washington. According to U.S. media, the NIC report was completed roughly a week before the joint U.S.-Israeli war on Iran began on February 28. It remains unclear whether Trump was fully briefed on those findings before he approved the Operation Epic Fury air campaign. The Washington Post first reported the key findings, citing 3 officials familiar with the classified document. The intelligence exercise reportedly gamed out both narrow decapitation strikes and a far broader assault scenario. In both cases, analysts concluded Iran's built-in succession machine would still move to pick the next leader and keep the system going. They point to the assembly of experts, backed by the IRGC and security chiefs, as the ultimate kingmaker, even under bombardment. That succession process is now unfolding in real time, while U.S. and Israeli bombs continue to fall overhead. NIC experts describe Iran's fractured opposition as unlikely to seize control, even in the aftermath of a bruising war. Instead, Mojtaba Khamenei is widely tipped inside Iran as a leading frontrunner to succeed his father. Western officials say the IRGC is pushing hard for Mojtaba, but is meeting resistance from other elite factions. Figures like Ali Larijani and rival power brokers reportedly bristle at IRGC efforts to crown Khamenei's son as the automatic choice. Despite that infighting, the U.S. intelligence community still expects the system itself, not exiled opposition groups, to prevail in Tehran. Trump has demanded Iran's unconditional surrender, and insists he must help pick its next leader once the bombs stop falling. He has dismissed Mojtaba as incompetent and a lightweight, vowing publicly to block his path to the top job. Iran's parliament speaker hit back, mocking the very idea that Trump could sit in judgment over who should rule Tehran. Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf wrote on X that Iran's fate will be determined solely by Iran, not Epstein's gang, a pointed jab at Trump's past associations. That line referenced Trump's past ties with Jeffrey Epstein to underline Tehran's contempt for his kingmaker talk. Tehran's messaging machine is framing Trump's demands as colonial arrogance and fresh proof of long-standing U.S. imperialist designs on Iran. Operation Epic Fury is officially billed as a drive to crush Iran's missiles, its navy, its proxy networks, and its nuclear pathways. Yet U.S. officials acknowledge there is still no mass uprising or elite fracture big enough to topple the system from within. Trump has even urged ordinary Iranians to shelter in place while bombs fall, a message that undercuts any talk of people pouring into the streets mid-air raid. Analyst Holly Dagers notes that Iran's clerical elite are deeply ideological and wired to resist what they see as American imperialism, not bow to it. Experts say Trump could only ever pick Iran's next leader if the regime first collapsed outright, an outcome the NIC currently doubts will happen. For now, Intelligence officials warn that Trump's bid to handpick Tehran's ruler looks more like a political dream than a serious strategy grounded in realities on the ground.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that we will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.